Temperate forests provide vital ecosystem services, such as carbon sequestration, water and nitrogen cycling, and timber for production. These forests play a key role in regulating our planet, and though deforestation has reduced in the past decades, it still occurs and still affects these ecosystems. Why would we do this if we know that they're so important? This is when a key concept comes into play. The value action gap is when people act in a way that is inconsistent with their values or beliefs. We know that deforesting these ecosystems will have detrimental consequences on our global carbon levels, but we continue to deforest them anyway. Another example is someone may say they want to fight against climate change, but then go home, open a huge fast fashion haul, use palm oil-filled products, and eat meat and dairy all day, every day. Models have been developed to try and investigate the value action gap, such as that made by Blake in 1999. The model begins with environmental concern and then presents 3 barriers which affect the action that people take. The first is individuality. This describes things such as laziness, not being bothered to take the tape off of a cardboard package so that it can be recycled properly, or a lack of interest. Some people just genuinely aren't bothered by the impending doom that climate change brings. The second barrier is responsibility. This can be explained as a lack of efficacy or a lack of trust for scientists. Finally, practicality. This involves a lack of time. Some people find it too time-consuming to recycle effectively. In addition, money plays a big role in environmental action. It's much easier and cheaper to go to a supermarket and get produce there that is already nicely packaged in containers, rather than find a zero-waste shop that requires you to bring your own containers. All these barriers stop people from actually acting on their environmental concern. The value action gap helps us understand why deforestation is still occurring in these temperate forests. Here, our value is that we want to slow climate change and protect our key ecosystems. Therefore, the action should be eating less meat so that less land is needed for farming, and properly recycling our cardboard so that fewer trees need to be cut down. However, there is a clear gap. It can be more expensive to have a proper, healthy vegetarian or vegan diet, and it is time-consuming to recycle, especially in areas that don't have proper recycling schemes. Having explained and understood the value action gap, it is now important to develop ways to encourage people to close this gap and act on their climate beliefs. In today's fast-moving world, people value conveniency, so any future interventions need to keep this in mind in order to be effective. People are unlikely to change their routines, so supermarkets need to adapt by reducing their plastic containers and encouraging people to bring their own reusable ones. Councils need to improve their recycling schemes, providing paper and cardboard-only bins so that less time is taken sorting the plastic from the paper. The main reason for ineffective interventions that have already been created is the price difference. Buying from sustainable and zero-waste places is significantly more expensive than sticking with what we know, and with the current cost of living crisis, this price difference is not encouraging anyone to switch to greener living. Changes need to come from above. The government and policymakers need to create effective interventions to reduce deforestation. And though we've had some wins, with people becoming more aware of the effects that palm oil have on the environment and an increase in vegetarian diets, there is still a long way to go before our temperate forests are properly stable in this ever-changing world.